so much better.
Night and day different. Night and day. What's up, guys? This is Sebastian with Tacoma Lifestyle. We are up here at CBI and Prinsu here in Idaho Falls to check out the 4th Gen Tacoma. Okay guys, this is CBI's brand new 2024 Toyota Tacoma TRD Off-Road in the new underground color. Today I have Jordan with me. We're going to be able to take this truck on a test drive and really get to see what this new truck is all about. So throughout this video you'll notice that there's a few things either missing or new. Currently CBI and Prinsu are using this truck to place their new bumpers on it. This car already has new wheels and tires, new suspension, rock sliders, a rooftop tent, a roof rack. It is fully loaded already and it's just waiting on its new bumper. So that's why we don't have a bumper on this today.
So my initial thoughts on the 4th generation Tacoma are this truck is pretty sweet. I really love this underground color. It's been a favorite of mine ever since I saw it on a new Tacoma. And the TRD Off-Road really is just the perfect overlanding package right off the bat. You get the locking rear diff, you get the optional locking or unlock the sway bar. You can fit 35-inch tires, which is pretty awesome. We'll get into that a little bit later, but overall, solid package from Toyota. Really excited to see how it drives.
As far as my first thoughts on the truck, I'm skeptical. The 4-cylinder turbo, is it really going to be able to do what the naturally aspirated V6 could do? I guess I'll have to see when driving it. Right off the bat, the first thing I notice is how beautiful this interior is. It truly is a complete upgrade from our 3rd gen. You have auxiliaries over here on the side, everything's really close, and this touchscreen, this big touchscreen, I think is finally accessible. On the Toyota Tundra, it's really big like this, but it's kind of far away, and so you can't really reach it. But I do like that this is all kind of close quarters, kind of feels fighter jet-esque.
That is so tiny.
Which is pretty cool. Oh yeah, you can hear the blow off a little bit.
It's a lot peppier than the 3rd gen Tacoma, like way peppier.
It feels like I'm not even driving it.
You put your foot down and there's an actual response. Like I'm on 35-inch tires right now and it's doing 40 or 35 miles an hour at just over 1,000 RPMs, which is pretty impressive.
Crazy.
No? And then when you do need the power, it's a
that torque curve is like
I
perfect.
mean you
there's
have
no turbo, or there's no like this, and then when the boost hits, it's just all there.
Right. Obviously, you have to remember that it is a 4-cylinder.
Yeah.
But it's a 4-cylinder with a turbo, so you get some torque. And I don't know. I think that, I mean, this car's on 35s.
That's crazy.
And it's handling this well, and it's relatively weighed down right now. We've got a tent on.
You got a tent on. You got 3 people on the truck.
Yeah, we're weighed down for sure.
And then turn left at the next stop sign.
Tacoma. Toyota came out with a new Tacoma for us. The worst thing that they could have done is change the truck completely.
Yeah.
For being a ground-up rebuild, this is actually like pretty Tacoma.
Small. It feels like the cool thing about the Tacoma is it drives like a car even though it's a truck, and I think that's an appeal that a lot of people have to it. It doesn't feel like you're driving a big truck around. It's really easy to maneuver, and you still have that in here. Like something that the new Nissan Frontier lacked was then when they upgraded that, you like couldn't see anything out of the truck. Like it had a ton of blind spots. This is still very open.
I still feel like my field of vision is the same, if not a little better than the 3rd gen Tacoma.
Yeah.
the third gen Tacoma that I'm used to driving has a hood scoop, and I think that changes a lot. But this is
But even then, like, the hood scoops I've seen on the TRD Sport, they don't poke out that much.
I can honestly say that I'm rather impressed. So let's talk about features. Heated seats, 3 modes. Cooled seats, 3 modes. I'm a huge fan of cooled seats. I don't love heated seats, but I do love an air-conditioned seat.
The cooled seats is on a trim level like this, or just like a truck like this. The Tacoma is a mid-sized pickup truck, so normally it's something you'd expect to get in like a nicer car like an Audi or Mercedes, but you're getting it in a Toyota Tacoma, which is pretty sweet.
Okay, we just had our first little test drive in the Tacoma, and overall, I'm impressed. The 4-cylinder turbo is incredible. This being on 35's already and being able to drive the way that it just did, I'm impressed.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I was in the passenger seat during the drive, but you could just feel that this truck can get up and go even with those 35-inch tires. And something that's cool about this is since it's twin turboed, you can see it has a boost gauge, and when you let off, you can hear that blow-off valve, which I think is crazy coming from a Tacoma. That's something that maybe you'd hear on like a GR Corolla, but it's cool how Toyota added that noise and fed it through the cabin so we could hear it.
After that, when it comes to handling it on the road, it's smooth. The first thing that I notice is that the steering wheel feels like I'm in more control. With my third gen Tacoma, it's a lot stiffer, where this is on 35's, where my third gen's on 33's, and it feels a lot tighter.
Yeah, everything feels just nice and new. I drive a second gen Tacoma the steering wheel is super loose, so being able to feel that in this, just how much they've improved coming from a 2014 was pretty cool. I'm excited to drive it on the way back and kind of feel those things that you did with the steering and the gas and brake pedal feel. But yeah, let's take a look at some of the other things CBI has done to this truck and
some of the other features Toyota has given us.
See the other features that Toyota's given us.
Okay, we got the whole side profile of the truck right here, and as you can see, CBI has done a lot. We have ditch lights from Rigid, as well as a roof rack with a light bar. It's on 35's with method wheels, and it's got CBI rock sliders.
Power tailgate.
A power tailgate. It doesn't just go down though. It'll go right back up.
Yeah, so if you're using your truck for actual truck things and your hands are full, this is a neat little feature. The button is right here. Yeah, and you don't even have to worry about putting stuff down to prop open your tailgate.
Another cool thing that the Tacoma has is this little power station right here, where we have 2 USB-Cs, your outlet, and a 12-volt right in this little compartment. I think it's great.
Yeah, especially if you're camping. I know a lot of people will run power out of the back of their truck, so this makes it a little bit easier to charge your phone, do things like that with this little power bank. So something that has been on previous generations of the Tacoma is this little cargo storage right here, as well as your DC outlet in this back corner. So the 4th generation Tacoma still retains those things, so you won't be missing out on that on the 4th gen Tacoma. So something that we are pretty grateful for on the 4th gen Tacoma is you don't have to do that body mount chop or cab mount chop anymore. But something that Toyota has done is introduce this high lift jack point, which is welded to the frame. So if you want to do a high clearance bumper, that is going to be something that's a little bit trickier to figure out. You may have to do some cutting to the frame with that, but who knows? A lot of these companies like CBI are engineering ways to do a high lift option or a I don't even know what you call it, high clearance option for the Tacoma. So we'll see what they come out with, but that is one concerning point on the 4th generation Tacoma.
Okay, so let's talk pros and cons about this new back seat in the 4th gen Tacoma. One of the pros that I love is that we have all of this storage capability underneath the seat. You have a lot of space on either side to do whatever you need to store things. But one of my biggest complaints would be the space back here. It's non-existent. Even for a small kid, it would be hard. I'm about 6'1", 6'2", and it's definitely would be an uncomfortable fit for me if I had to go anywhere longer than a few minutes.
So something that is cool with the 4th generation Tacoma is you are actually able to change the angle of the seats, whereas on the 2nd and 3rd gen Tacoma that wasn't an option, and you would have to buy something like the Desert Does It seat jackers to fix that angle to give you some more support on your legs.
You gotta know coming into this truck that it's not a big truck. It's not gonna be like the Tundra, where you have all of the room in the world in the front and the back seat. This is a compact truck.
Yeah, it's definitely in that mid-size segment. So if you are off-roading, it's perfect for that, but it's not a family vehicle for sure. But first impressions for me driving it, I actually really like the way that this thing drives. The steering wheel is like really responsive. The brake and gas pedals feel just like a Toyota should feel. I think that's something that I've appreciated with all Toyotas is you can get into whatever model it is and it still drives somewhat the same. And the power, like that torque curve comes in so early that you don't have to worry about any like secondary boost from the turbo kicking in. Like it comes in so early that the power curve's all really the same. So yeah, I really like this. This is sweet.
Another thing that's different with this is we have a dial for modes now. So you have a tow haul, you have your crawl mode, but you can also switch it from economy mode into normal or sport.
Sport. Let's see what happens with sport mode. Try not to rub here. It just drives like so predictably, which is like awesome to see from a turbocharged car. Like, I think everybody was worried about the turbos and the turbo lag and the power curve for off-roading, and I don't think any of that is an issue. It has so much torque, way more torque than the 3rd gen Tacoma had, and the 2nd gen Tacoma. Like, I really like this engine. Like 4-cylinder, like I know everyone hates it, but I really like this engine so far.
I've been totally and completely impressed. When it comes to drive modes, I got a question for you. Why would they include a normal drive mode? Why is there a eco, normal, and a sport? Why wouldn't there just be an eco and a sport?
That is a
you
good
just
question.
having a normal day?
I guess so. I know if I had one, I'd just drive with it in sport mode all the time. But
yeah, if I had it, it'd either be in sport or eco. I don't think I'd ever drive with it in normal.
Yeah, I don't know why car companies do that. It's something that maybe sets them apart from other manufacturers. But overall, this is like a great package from Toyota. And they have like wireless charging too. Like I can keep my phone right here.
With 2 USB-C ports.
And there's another one right back here that I was noticing.
Oh, wow.
So you really have all the amenities that you would need in a car built in 2024, but it drives just so well. Like they didn't compromise with anything, which is awesome to see from Toyota. I'm really impressed with this. It just drives so easy.
Still a truck, though.
Yeah, still a truck. It's a long bed. You can still fit a bunch of stuff in the rear. I know for you like to haul dirt bikes.
Yeah.
I think you could fit a couple dirt bikes back there.
I was looking at it. It's a little bit narrower than my truck,
Yeah.
but you could definitely fit what you need to back there. And with this thing having a towing capability still, I can pull like a small little trailer, which is cool for me.
Yeah.
I really like that Toyota, this is the TRD Off-Road. And a lot of the Toyota community loves to overland, but they're not compromising on their other markets either. They have a 6-foot bed for us guys that like to put bigger things back there. They've got a towing capability on this thing for us guys that like to pull a little trailer here and there. I really think that Toyota overall nailed this truck.
Yeah. And I don't think we've talked about this yet, but the transmission is so much better than
Night and
the
day
old one.
different. Night and day. I remember driving a 3rd gen Tacoma trying to go 80 miles an hour while I'm screaming 3,500 RPMs, right?
Exactly.
And you have to just search for that next higher gear. This, the 8-speed automatic, is 1,000 times better.
It knows.
The whole time we've been driving back, I don't think we've gone above 4,000 RPMs.
Yeah.
And that's when you floored it.
It knows what gear it needs to be in at any time, and it doesn't just search forever and rev up to 5,000 RPMs every time that you're gunning it. It's crazy. It just drives. It's such a better driver's car now, and I love it for that.
Overall, I'm sold.
I am sold. I kind of want to go to a dealership now and see if I can snag one.
We're here with Nathan, with Prinsu and CBI, and we are here to go over the 4th Gen Tacoma.
That's right. Pretty excited about it. What do you think? First impressions?
First impressions, it's beautiful. It's an upgrade completely from the 3rd Gen. I think that this color is incredible. I'm blown away by every aspect of this truck.
Yeah, we feel the same. I mean, honestly, it's totally new from the ground up, like you said. We've been super impressed with it. We've had the truck off-road already. This is a 2024, of course. It's a TRD off-road trim. This is the long bed too, so you kind of feel like, especially in stock form, I mean, it's lifted now with 35's, but in stock form, you kind of feel like a limousine driver when you're used to a short bed. But yeah, they have made so many great improvements on this truck. Basically, the whole exterior is built to be modded out. You can add roof racks, rock sliders, anything pretty darn easy.
Yeah, we were just talking about that, how easy it actually is to install a new roof rack on this truck.
Super easy, super easy.
Just you remove the plastic piece and it goes right on, yeah?
Yep, there's 4 plastic pieces over the mounting holes. I mean, it's easy enough. I can do it. I had no problem. Pop it off, bolt it down, build your rack. The rock sliders are the same way, threaded holes on the frame, so they're really easy to install.
A total upgrade from what we're used to.
You'll go from, honestly, from rock sliders that are, you know, an hour and a half to install. These will be like 30 minutes or less.
I love that Toyota could do that for us.
So the auxiliary switches, we talked about those on the inside. That's a super nice feature to have those already set up and ready to go. Simplifies the wiring process. And then, of course, the whole interior of the truck, I feel like, is just a huge upgrade. Plus, it's just built for off-roading. I mean, you feel like you have all your features right where you want them, easy access, huge screen to see your off-road cameras.
Yeah.
And we tried that. I mean, it's just like the Tundra. If you've been in the Tundra, it's amazing how precise the cameras help you place your tires.
Right.
I mean, you can tell exactly where your tires are and place it wherever you need. And you don't even need a spotter.
We love that. That's
Which
the
is pretty
upgrade
cool.
we've been asking for sure.
So
yeah, we talked about the interior of this truck and how it was a needed upgrade and how Toyota has completely delivered. Do you feel that there's anything that you don't like about the new interior versus the old interior?
Honestly, I mean, that was the thing on the previous gen, the 3rd Gen, that I felt like needed the most attention. So for me, everything is just awesome. You know, right now it's like, you know, it's the honeymoon phase. It's like everything's new. I love it, you know, and you feel good about it. I'm sure there's a few things that we'll find as we use the truck a little more here and there, a few little, you know, kind of rinky-dink things, but so far I'm blown away.
Hey guys, this is Justin right here with CBI. He's the one that fitted these 35-inch wheels on this 2024 Toyota Tacoma. Tell us how you did that.
Yeah, sure. What's up, guys? So these are 35-inch Falcon tires. These are their new RTs, and they're awesome tires. We love these. So they hooked us up with a set of 33s also, and these 35s. So we started with the 33-inch tire, and we did have some rubbing in the front, just factory. So we got with Peak suspension, and we came up with a 1-inch leveling kit for the front, and they cleared just fine with the 33. So we knew we wanted more to really pick the belly of this truck up. So we went with 35s, and that required a 2-inch lift kit in the front and a 1-inch in the back. These are all Peak suspension components, and so we got those installed. And we have a little bit of rubbing at full lock. There's just a bolt-on little piece in the inner fender liner. You unbolt that, and we should be fully cleared and everything with this setup. So it turned out nice. Totally love it. The Method wheels, polish is kind of the new thing, so we're trying to go. We got nice contrast with the darker color on this truck. So that's kind of what we're running right now, and it handles great. If you're running a tent, that 1-inch spacer in the back is totally necessary because this is a soft suspension, so it kind of squatted it down just a little bit. But all in all, it's a great setup. These trucks from the factory, they're pretty raked out in the front. Like the front was about 2 inches low. So we had a lot to come up, yeah, to get this thing leveled out. But all in all, it's been fun. We've been playing musical tires and wheels and just swapping it in and out, seeing what works. So it's been fun, for sure.
This, you would say, is your recommendation for this model Tacoma. You go straight to 35 now, right?
I would, yeah. The new engine with the turbocharger, it has a good amount of power. It's not like the third gens where, I mean, you just have no pedal. So this one's got enough pep to push these tires down the road. So definitely go with that peak suspension, 2 inches in the front, 1 in the rear, and some 35s. It's a great, great setup. One thing to consider is offset on these wheels. So that's been kind of a shocker on the internet, is usually with anything Tacoma, anything Toyota for that matter, excuse me, you're going to want a negative offset to get them out there kind of 1 inch, you know, poking out to give it that aggressive look. This truck tracks really wide. So these are actually 1150 35, so they're a little skinnier than the typical 1250. Right. And that kind of gives us the look that we're after, where we're about 1 inch out. And this is a 0 offset. We'll give you a side shot so you can see that. But we started out with like a 12 wide tire, and I mean, we were way poked out. And a lot of people go for that, and that's cool, but we were looking for that 1 inch out. So just be mindful on your offset. If you're wanting to be flush in there, you're going to want a positive offset wheel, like a 12 or 18, like pretty good amount.
And like you said, coming from like a Toyota standpoint, that is never something we've had to do.
No, yeah, mostly people are putting spacers, all kinds of stuff to get them out there. This truck, that's not going to be necessary at all. Another interesting discovery is this is the same bolt pattern as the third gen Tacoma, but the wheel studs themselves are a lot bigger diameter. They're actually the same as the Tundra. So these have bigger studs in them, really? Which is kind of interesting. I mean, it's great. It'll be, you know, firmer hold, right. Kind of heavier duty a little bit, but yeah, that was something interesting we found out with what we've been doing here. All right, so these are 35 1150, so they're a little skinnier than the typical 1250, but they're the Falcon RTs, and we're on method 17-inch wheels with a 0 offset. That gives us a nice about 1 inch out from the fender, semi-aggressive look, but not being too wide. We really love this setup. These tires are super quiet on the road, and they perform flawlessly off-road. I mean, look at that sidewall. It's super aggressive. We love this setup.
So final thoughts after driving this truck. It doesn't drive anything like I thought it would. Doesn't drive like a turbo car at all, but you get so much more torque, so much more power than the current third generation Tacoma. So I really like this package from Toyota. It's definitely made me consider upgrading for sure. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I love everything they've done with this truck.
Honestly, my final thoughts on this truck is that Toyota did a great job. There are a few things that I think that they could work on with future models of this generation, but overall this truck is incredible. It's exactly what us Toyota guys have been asking for. Yeah. Really, we wanted something that stuck to its roots but brought 2024 into the picture, right? A lot on the third gen Tacoma, there was a lot of outdated features. With this, you have that car from today. It is a 2024 through and through, but you still have that ruggedness, that off-road capability. Honestly, I think it's perfect.
Yeah, the 2024 Tacoma is pretty much perfect in every way, and Toyota's finally listened to a lot of the enthusiasts and fixed a lot of things that they didn't like in previous models, and have made it easier to upgrade and tune and do a bunch of different things too. So really, really like this 2024 TRD Off-Road Tacoma, and we appreciate CBI for letting us come and check out their truck. Make sure that you're looking for things that they offer for your Tacoma in the future. They're going to be doing a covert bumper down here, rock sliders, Prinsu roof rack. Yeah.
Well, I know that you and I love this truck, but we want to know what you guys think. Please write a comment down, like and subscribe. Let us know what you think of this Tacoma.